All right. Well, Chase, first off, MIAA's coming up this season. How have you felt about your times? How have you felt about the way the season's progressed?
Yeah, we've been lucky this year to have 3 or 4 perfect meets. So I've really been able to put down good times compared to last year. And it's been exciting, especially enjoying that weather. I'm hoping we can get that this weekend. Let's get a good time down.
Yeah. Do you have any goal or any time that you feel like you want to hit or need to hit?
I've gone 53.7, and I know that to place on the upper end of conference this year, it's going to take about 53.5. That's kind of what I'm shooting for this weekend.
Marlia, you have anything?
There we go. Yes, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So hosting this weekend, how, I guess, exciting is that to know it's going to be in your own backyard?
It's really exciting. We've had a couple home meets this year, and you can't replace the feeling of waking up in your own apartment and going out to your own track to run your own track meet. It's super exciting doing it that way, and I'm glad we get to do conference that way, a big meet.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yep.
What about just the hurdle crew that you guys have got? I mean, you're one of the top 5 hurdle groups in the country. Just kind of talk about that and how you guys work together.
Yeah, it's really been, I came in as a freshman and learned from the older guys, and now as I'm sitting as one of the older guys, teaching the younger guys. It's a really cool dynamic, pushing each other every day. Even this week, we've been focusing on kind of the fact that, okay, we'll be in different lanes, et cetera, and working from that aspect of it. Say we'll be in lane 8. We're working on that this week. Just really a good group of guys. We get along. We communicate extremely well. I think that's kind of why we've had success the way we have.
All right. Well, Josiah, MIAA's coming up. First off, how excited are you to be competing in the MIAA tournament at home this weekend?
I'm very excited just to be back in general after spending about a year out from injuries and such. It's nice to be back and competing with my teammates again in the long and the triple.
So far this season, how have you felt about your jumps?
They've been okay. My long has been fluctuating a little bit, but my triple has been steadily increasing. I've been steadily working on my different phases of my triple.
Do you have any goals set for the MIAA's?
I am seated lower in the long than I am in the triple, so I'm looking to move up in the ranks and hopefully score points with an increase in my long mark to roughly 7 meters. Yes.
Marlia?
Yeah, kind of a similar question. I know you have big goals, obviously, for this meet. How helpful is it to have this in your own backyard, hosting at Emporia State?
It's excellent. My family can come down, and it's just great to see all my friends I've grown up with here at Emporia State and just be around family and friends, and it just helps to compete with friends as well.
Awesome. Thanks.
Hey, speaking of family, I heard last Friday we sent a group out to Fort Hays and the meet got canceled. And coming back, there was a tornado warning, and I heard they had to stop in Hillsboro at your family's house.
Indeed. The jumpers and a group of the hurdlers sprinters stopped at my house on the way back from Fort Hays due to a tornado siren going off in Hillsboro, Kansas. So about 10 of my teammates were huddled in the basement with my mother, my father, my sister, and my brother, as I had left about an hour earlier. So it was quite funny to get a text from my friend that said, "Hey, I'm in your basement right now." I did not believe him whatsoever.
So you weren't there with them?
No, I had gone home that weekend to watch my little brother compete in long and triple, and I had come back home to work on some homework and do some other stuff. So I wanted to leave before the weather, and it looks like I did.
Yeah, did your family say anything about what it was like happening there?
I got a text from my girlfriend and my friend before my mother even texted me. She did not text me until they had left, actually.
Well, Abby, we've talked to you already a couple times. Are you pleased with where you're at going into the MIAA's?
Most definitely. I'm super pleased with where I'm at. I've hit some pretty exciting times and marks this season, so yeah, I definitely am pleased.
Any big goals set for the MIAA's?
I think my biggest goal is go out there and compete, but also have fun while I'm competing, because just not let the pressure settle in, just make sure I'm having fun, working well with my coaches and teammates. Definitely makes it fun that it's at home, as everyone else has said too.
So will you be doing the heptathlon?
Yes, so I will be doing the heptathlon Friday and then finishing Saturday, and then I'll be running the 400 hurdles Saturday and hopefully coming back for finals in the 400 hurdles and running the 4x4 on Sunday as well. So it's going to be a big weekend.
Marlette?
I think just remaining consistent in my training has helped a lot, and listening to my coaches has definitely been very beneficial. We started out the season, and this is my first season ever running the 400 hurdles because it's the 300 hurdles in high school. And so just listening to Coach Blocker, and he's got great advice, obviously, knows what he's doing. Just him putting some confidence and some spark into that has been super beneficial.
Strategy-wise, what's the difference on how you approach the 300 hurdles versus the 400 hurdles?
The 400 hurdles, it honestly is a lot different than what I was expecting. I loved the 300 hurdles in high school, and I didn't think I would enjoy the 400 hurdles as much just because it's longer. But I have found it to be more rhythmic just because I enjoy running 400s, and so adding in hurdles is more fun, I guess, for me. I don't know why, but I enjoy it more than an open 400, so it's been good.
So thanks.
Hey, just talk a little bit. You're the freshman here in this group, obviously, and you're going to start out with the MIAA championships here at home. A couple of years down the line, you could be running in a national championship meet here. Just kind of talk about that, and if that had anything to do with you coming here, that opportunity
Yeah.
to do a lot of things here.
Yeah, it's super special, definitely, to be having my first outdoor conference at home, and potentially where we are hosting nationals in a couple years, so potentially qualifying for that and getting to run at home. I just think it's super special to be running with the great community behind me and family being close by. Like anybody can come, it's just an hour from my hometown, so it is super special and just a great opportunity.
Awesome.
Well, Alyssa, let's go back to last week. School record set. When you let go of the hammer, did you kind of feel like, hey, I've got this?
Yeah. The second I let go of it, I kind of looked at my coach, and I knew it was going to be the one. It was kind of funny because she stopped recording me on my first go. I tripped right before, and so I had to restart, and she stopped recording me, and I was like, okay, yeah, you're gonna regret that. So I kind of had it in my mind. I was like, this is going to be a good one.
To get that school record, and does that take any pressure? Does it put any more pressure on you?
I mean, it felt good. I'm glad to just be back to where I was last year. I beat it just by a couple inches. Pressure-wise, I try not to let that get to me, and I'm just looking forward to some bigger throws.
As far as MIAAs, any goals set for yourself?
I'm coming up on top, so I'd like to finish on top, score some points for my team, and just support any way I can.
Arlette?
Hi, how are you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. Hey, so you're obviously, one of the top in the nation in this event, and you're getting to do it in your own backyard. I know you're from Shawnee Heights originally. What does that mean to you to be able to compete all the time, I guess, close to home, but specifically for this upcoming meet?
It means a lot. I've been here 5 years, and, it's the first big meet we've had at Emporia State. And unfortunately, I won't be here for the national championships when they have that here. But just to have conference here is going to mean a lot. I can have a lot of friends and family come out. A lot of the community I've gotten to know really well. And so they'll all be there, and it'll be a good weekend.
Yeah, and you've had, obviously meets at Emporia State, but not necessarily one of this caliber.
Yeah.
So I guess how excited are you to take that stage?
I'm really excited. We got a new ring. It's feeling good. I'm feeling prepared, so I'm hoping to hit some big throws.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
what I was going to ask about was just you've got a new ring and everything too. I mean, does that kind of feel good that it's all kind of coming together right now for you?
Oh yeah, it's coming. It's like perfect timing. And I was kind of worried at first because I got a little injury, and and then we're kind of questioning whether I'd be coming back. But God's timing always works out, and everything is working out how it should.
Perfect. All right, great.
Well, you get to host the MIAAs. I know there's a lot of work that you're going to have to do before things get going, but with this group of men and women, how excited are you to see what they can do on their home course?
Pretty excited. Yeah, you're right. First there's a lot of work that goes into it, but we got a great staff. The assistant coaches are on point. They're lining things up right now as we speak. So I'm pretty grateful for that. But, it's an honor. I think we have a home field. Obviously, there's a little bit of an advantage, and I think that our athletes are going to step up and perform best on their home track. So pretty pumped to see that.
Getting towards the end of the season, do you feel like your athletes are peaking at the right time.
I hope so. You're always, that's something that I like to think I get down pretty well, or as a staff, we get down pretty well. But there's always an element of chance. You can never account for things like weather or just, like Alyssa mentioned, kind of ticky-tack injuries or surfaces and things of that nature. But, I think our kids traditionally have done an excellent job. In fact, when I go back and look at some of our statistics, they typically perform best at MIAA. And so whether it's our coaching or their mentalities and their preparation, they perform best, I think, when the pressure is at the highest.
And if the forecast holds to what it's looking like right now,
yeah,
you got a big smile on your face.
Yeah, I'm so tired of looking at the weather on my phone. It's not even funny. So, but yeah, it looks good right now. I think if it's that 70% of hosting a good meet is if we get good weather, where everyone's going to be happy. So yeah.
Marlia?
Yeah, Coach, I wanted to talk a little bit about Alyssa.
Mm-hmm.
And, recruiting her out of Topeka, keeping her close to home. Now she's one of the best in the nation in her event and obviously a school record holder.
Yeah.
Just how, I guess, proud are you of the career she's had so far? And can you talk a little bit about her development?
Oh, yeah. I joke with Alyssa a bit about, I remember, funnily enough, I remember right where I was sitting when she called and the stress that was on my mind when I saw that there was a Shawnee Heights grad that had thrown really well in the jab, and I hadn't called her yet. And lo and behold, I think she called me. So I like to take credit for that. But, she's a special girl. I think we knew that right away. And I have these pictures in my mind of her career, I guess you could say, is I remember, her throwing hammer one day, and I thought, we recruit her as a javelin thrower. That's fine. And then I go down to hammer practice, and I'm seeing her throw from afar. And I thought, boy, this girl's good. She definitely has talent, and she's making the most of the talent that she has. And I think that's probably where I'm most proud is, you get so much talent that you're born with, and then you got to maximize it and utilize that. I think she's the poster child for having maximized that ability. So I couldn't be happier for her.
What are your goals for her kind of in the next weeks?
Really just so that she can keep her in the mentality that she's very confident with what she's doing. She's put in the work, like I said. Just know that when you go into a competition, like she said, she is amongst the best, and that everybody's chasing her, and all it takes is for her to go out there, be calm on her home venue, and just let one fly, and everyone's going to be chasing her. So everybody else is stressed out. There's no need for her to be. I think if she just does that and just remains the person that she is, I'll be pretty proud.
And the last one I have for you is obviously she's from the area. You have a lot of kids who are kind of from the area.
Yeah.
How excited are you for them to be able to compete, on a big stage at the conference tournament or meet level?
Yeah.
In Emporia?
Very happy. Of course we have some biases, we feel like we're pretty centrally located, but for them to come back, and I think their families and the parents, they do a very good job of supporting. We always get a solid crowd, and so I think at an MIAA championship, for them to be kind of in their own backyard and not have to make a 3-hour trek, hopefully, they'll come out in droves, and it'll be a great environment for them. So, yep.
And then just talk a little bit, this is the first of the next 5 years. There's going to be a lot of big meets coming in here.
Right.
MIAA, a couple
Right.
of national championships. Just how does this help set you up to move forward?
I think, I forget who mentioned it first, but what goes into hosting a meet, you're trying to literally see the future and plan for every little thing. It's like moving an army. We couldn't do it without the coaching staff, as well as our student athletes, and then of course administration and their support. So it's a nice precursor. We think it's 2 years away, but it's going to come quick. And we take a lot of pride in our facilities. We take a lot of pride in our community. We like to showcase that. And so I think bringing in these caliber of meets is a great thing, and we welcome the challenge, and we know that our kids and our staff, they're going to step up to it and put on a great show.
Then lastly, just talk about the competition in the MIAA. Every event has got at least one.
Yeah.
In some cases, 10 or 12
Yeah.
provisional qualifiers. In some ways, it might be better meet than the national meet.
It's intense, and when we look at it, it's, you're of course, you're trying to attack each individual area. You're looking for things kind of like matchups. How do we perform in each individual area? And we've got coaches right now that I've got 100% faith in. Their athletes I have the same amount of faith in. And so we go out there and we lay it on the line, and we see what we can do and where we stack up. This is the best conference in Division II, no doubt, and that's where we want to be, and I think it'll bring out the best in our athletes.